We're filling you up with everything you need to know to stay healthy and safe this Thanksgiving holiday. Amanda Cannon, a Sodexo Clinical Dietitian at LVHN, part of Jefferson Health, is in the kitchen with Eve to dish out what we all need to know. Eve?
Thanks, Haziel. Yeah, we got our containers. We're going to talk leftovers in just a minute, but Amanda's here. We're so excited to have you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, a lot of food to talk about, a lot of strategies to talk about. Let's first start with tomorrow. What is your expert opinion? How do we approach Thanksgiving Day in terms of having some fun, sticking with the diet, not overdoing it, not getting a stomach ache?
Yeah,
where do we begin? What's our strategy?
So let's start in the morning.
Okay.
So first thing when you wake up, you're going to want to eat a balanced breakfast.
Okay.
So
Don't skip.
Yes. So most people do. They try to, not eat anything up until dinner to save room. But actually what that leads us to do is overeat at that dinner meal. So you're actually going to want to start the day with a balanced breakfast. You're going to want to have a protein, carbohydrates, healthy fats, and some fiber at that meal, which is going to fill us up, excuse me, and help us feeling full and satisfied throughout the day.
Yeah, I feel like I hear so many people saying, like, I'm saving for Thanksgiving, and then they have a humongous dinner,
yes, and then you feel very sick, full, tired afterwards, and nobody likes those feelings.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. How about when dinner is served? Any advice to have a little fun without overdoing?
Yeah. So normally I would say start with, sometimes we eat with our eyes, we overfill our plate. So start with your proteins and your vegetables. So if we eat those first, same point as before, it helps us feel full and satisfied. And then maybe we won't pick at the rest of our meal, or maybe not go in for that second plate.
Okay. And I know you have some swaps that you recommend. What kind of things do you recommend?
Okay. So starting with our, traditional stuffing, we could swap that to be more whole grains, add extra fruits and vegetables. Again, with our fun side dishes here, mashed potatoes, we could do a half and half, maybe some cauliflower mash instead.
Okay.
But still adding some mashed potatoes in to keep it nice and creamy and delicious like we all know.
Sure, okay.
When you're at your main dish, when we're eating our turkey, maybe go more for the light meat and avoid the skin because that's a much leaner option.
Okay, all right, some good tips. So we're still getting the favorites, just some little easy swaps. Okay, how about leftovers? What are your recommendations? How long can we eat our leftovers? What should we not eat? What are the rules?
Yeah, so actually all Thanksgiving leftovers are good to eat afterwards, but they're really only good for 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
And that's also if they're being stored in the fridge and gotten into the fridge within 2 hours after serving.
Okay.
So that's definitely an important thing. You're going to want to make sure you get your containers that are very sealed tight. It's actually better to go more for the shallow ones than the taller ones because then they actually cool down at the same time and temperature. So getting all this into the fridge at the same time and cooling properly is going to help to avoid that bacterial growth.
Okay, and any foods that don't, do too well in terms of, eating a couple days after, does it vary?
It doesn't really vary. It really goes for everything because if you think about Thanksgiving, everything's kind of mixed together.
Sure.
So the general rule of thumb is to make sure you heat all your leftovers very thoroughly, get to 165 degrees Fahrenheit, and if you're not going to eat it within 4 days, put it right into the freezer instead.
Okay, so by the end of the weekend, you got to kind of say goodbye to some of Thanksgiving here. Okay, after Thanksgiving, of course, Black Friday. Any advice for those shoppers? What to eat and not eat before you head out?
So it's kind of the same rule of thumb as Thanksgiving. You want to start the day right by recovering. So you're going to start with that balanced breakfast we had on Thanksgiving morning as well. And then really start our hydration tips. So we have our water bottles here.
So these guys.
You want to make sure you fill them up. You could even add your favorite electrolyte powder, and that will help to increase your absorption and your hydration. And then bring that with you while you're shopping because it's a constant reminder to hydrate.
Okay, great. All right, good. So thank you so much for all these great tips. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
I'm going to think about you when I'm loading up my plate. So thanks, Amanda.
Thank you so much.
You can find out more about all of the dietitian services and the nutrition services at lvhn.org.